Cool. Well, just give us just a quick sort of how, where, when, why the band formed.
Okay. When was 1994 in Anchorage, Alaska, and we all come from a pretty similar, the music scene is just really small there, so there's tons of bands, but everybody knows each other in every band, whether you're in a death metal band or a folk band or hip-hop, whatever. So we all knew each other, and we were in different bands, like me and Thomas, our drummer, were in the same band. And then when our previous bands disbanded, it kind of happened for all of us at the same time, so we just kind of all joined up together. And that's basically how it happened. I mean, as far as the metal scene there, or the rock scene or whatever, it's a selective group, of guys, although that most kids grew up on Metallica and Slayer there, like everywhere else. So metal is the prominent music there, but just the amount of bands that are playing there isn't a lot. So you pretty much know everybody that's in the scene.
Okay. And also, I read an interview today with you, and you said that to describe the sound was romantic. How does that work with the whole sort of really aggressive kind of approach to it going on? How does that sort of slot in?
Well, because I think that, are you talking about the new record or just the music in general, or?
Yeah, your music in general, the last couple.
Yeah, well, I think that just for I'm singing about love a lot, whether a good sense of it or a bad sense of it, and on the last record was definitely a more positive light, and I don't think people really sing about love in a good light too much in the scene we're in, and that's a hard thing to do at the same time, because it can be super cheesy, and I'm not trying to do that, but we're just trying to, I think it's in a collective sense that it's romantic with ourselves and the kids. We have a very, when we're playing live, we want the kids to sing with us. We want everybody to feel like they are very glad that they came to the show, because we're super appreciative towards it. So I think it's just a big romance together, and it's a silly word, I guess, but I've had to have used it a few times. So I guess you got to get a good answer for it. But, we're thankful for doing this, and it means everything to us that people show up, because it'd be not fun without it. So on all levels, there's definite love involved.
Okay. And also, there's the post on your site at the moment says that the new album's refreshing without going into any, because people, saying, what's the new direction? Do you want to elaborate on that? What can we expect?
Well, it's still kind of early in the writing process for us, so it's I'm not really positive exactly what the complete differences are from the other records, but it's still we're not trying to alienate the fans that we've already made. We're not trying to go lighter completely or go heavier or whatever. We are trying to go heavier. That's always the plan. But yeah, go for it, man. I just think that I think this record we're trying to make it as live as possible, because it's hard to capture that, and so we just want to make songs that are going to make the crowd continue to rock out, I guess. So that's the plan. Refreshing. I mean, we're trying to keep it in a positive light for sure. I'm not trying to get back into depressing subject matter, because my life's just different now. But it's definitely going to be, on the lighter side lyrically, more positive thinking and stuff like that.
Sure. And how do you balance that, the kind of the raw edge with the melodic stuff? How does that come through? Is that?
I don't think that your lyrical content needs to have, just because you're singing about positive things doesn't mean you can't scream about it. You know what I mean? So just whatever the song calls for. I like the scream sing style. That's how we always did it. So it seems to be getting quite popular. But that's just the way we do it.
And also, on all the interviews that I've read with you, everyone always talks about Alaska loads. I mean, what's the view that everyone has, that people always sort of ask you? That it's sort of snow everywhere and dark. And
cold, obviously, and dark, and which is pretty true. In the wintertime it's cold and it's dark a lot of the time. I guess that's basically it. We grew up with cable TV just like everybody else. We had record stores and we had movies, and so it's not as different as everybody thinks. The difference is the scene. The scenery is crazy. I mean, it's these cities were like picked out of the air and put in the middle of all these mountains. So like you walk outside and it's like massive mountains everywhere, and it's pretty unique in that sense, I think. And I mean, Scandinavia, I guess, has a similar like climate and stuff like that, and the daylight and stuff like that. In the summertime, you know, it doesn't get dark. Like at 3 a.m, it's like dusk, and then like 3:30, it's light again. So it's kind of a strange thing. I love that about it, but I'm sure if you're not used to that, that's definitely, you're like, when are we going to bed? I'm tired, but it's light out.
Just to switch that briefly, I mean, who do you see as your contemporaries at the moment? I mean, I know you've toured with Killswitch and people like that. Who do you see as your contemporaries right now?
You know, I don't really know. We always kind of fit weird in all these bills, but our friends are definitely, you know, Killswitch Engage and 12 Tribes for our brothers. We're really glad that they're with us right now. You know, Candiria, we toured with numerous times, and there's a good group of bands that seem to all hang out together. And I mean, we're nothing like Lamb of God, but those are some of my greatest buds. And you know, just this is. I mean, I think that we'll continue to try and stay in the hardcore metal scene, as hard as it is for us sometimes, because you know, we've been on, like, we went on tour with Walls of Jericho and Martyr AD and Bury Your Dead, and it was hard for us. It was awesome because we had a great time with the bands, but they're fans, man. I mean, because it's like, you know, hardcore is just a very selective group, and if you're not doing that thing, they don't want nothing to do with it. So it was a tough tour for us, but in the same sense, that makes your band a little stronger if you can get through those things. I don't think we'd ever put ourselves in that position ever again. Actually, I know we'll never put ourselves in that position again. We'd much rather go out with more metal bands. Kids just seem to be a little more open-minded, and so that's, I don't know, we're just trying to, we don't want to go out with like bands that can lump you in with the wrong category, you know, and I think it's really easily to do, especially with the type of music we play, that you don't really know what it is. It's a bunch of different things, and so it's important to like try and stay with what we enjoy, and that's the metal hardcore scene.
Sure. And in terms of, I mean, you know, the rage and the energy and the aggression that's in there, where does that come from? I mean, you said, you know, that you're a little more positive now. You know, things are kind of better. Where's that energy and aggression coming from?
Just, you know, being able to reflect on the mistakes that you've made in your life, and countless mistakes in my case, and being able to just slowly start to correct those, and all of a sudden, I think a couple years ago, I was at a point where I was just like, man, you can't get any lower, and you continue to do these things. How about just try and like write about different things, and my life slowly started changing into, I got really involved with karma and how real it is, and just trying to do right by everyone and myself, and then I just think that as that went on and I got a little older, I just learned from my mistakes, and that's how the whole change kind of became. It wasn't like one day I was like, I'm going to be happy today. It was like a slow process, but once I reflected on it, I was like, okay, well, things are getting slowly better, and let's try this out, try that out. I don't know, you know.
I mean, you talked about karma. There was, again, another interview with you guys with a religious website, and you sort of saying that, you know, you have faith and stuff like that, especially in the kind of the more the metal scene. Have you ever had people disagree with, or, you know, disagree with your views and stuff? Because obviously in the metal scene, there's often a lot of anti-religious, but also
Sure.
kind of anti-God kind of stuff.
Right.
Have you ever?
No, not really, because I'm not really interested in sharing my views with people. I mean, I would, but my views are strictly for me, and your views are strictly for you, and that's the way I live my life. I mean, what my faith does for me is completely different for someone else, you know, so it's, I've never really wanted to, like, you know, we definitely aren't a Christian band, although most of us are believers in God. And, you know, I just don't have any interest in getting into arguments with people with that, because look at the world. I mean, all the wars are started on it some way, and you know, it's just silly, you know, if it's good for you, if it's not, fine, you know.
Cool. And also you said that the songs on this new LP, you say, are, you know, better than the last. You know, personally.
Everybody says that.
No, fair play. You said it, and so many bands run out of material. After their first album, you spend your whole life making your first album, but get the last one in a couple of years. So how have you grown? How's that grown since the last album? How's it?
Well, I think that we hadn't in over a year and a half or so, and now that we are writing the songs again, I think it was really nice for us to have that break and just tour on the old songs. And plus, like, I'm just getting started on this like different path, I'm not trying to change it up musically or like vocally sounding. I'm just like different, I like feel different. I feel smarter lyrically, and not in an intelligent sense, just for me personally, like about going about things. And so I'm still excited, and I wasn't even excited, like the Bitterness of Star record, it was not even thought of. It was how I always did things since I was in 10th grade, writing about, oh, my heart is broken, this sucks, and that was so easy for me. Like, I have millions of pages of that stuff. So now I'm being challenged, and I'm glad to be challenged, because it's really hard to write about positive things for me and not make it lame. Because since I had never done it, and I think that's hard anyway. Like, I think the best people that are doing it, like Jesse Leach, who was the original Killswitch singer, he sings in such a positive light, and it's so aggressive, and it's so like uplifting. I love that. I think that's awesome. So I want to do stuff like that,
Okay, and also, you've spotted the Warren T-shirt. You said that you're a big fan of old rock stuff as well. Give us like a personal out of 10 for the following bands. Metallica.
My favorite band of all time.
Skid Row.
Youth Gone Wild was a very important record for me growing up.
Journey.
Oh my God, first concert ever, 1986. Saw back-to-back nights, sold out in Alaska. Raised on Ray is one of the greatest records of all time, and I'm a huge Steve Perry fan. I love Journey.
Okay. Megadeth.
Big fan in high school. Loved all the records. I listen to it now, and it's kind of strange that his voice didn't bother me back then, but now it does. But I still like Rust in Peace is an amazing record. I loved it. It's very defining of my high school years. But I can't really get into it these days, although there was that a couple years ago. I guess this is a while ago now, but I think this is like 94 probably. But that 99 Ways to Die song that came out, or that's what he was singing. I forget the name of it. It was on the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack. Anyway, there was still good Megadeth going on, but I kind of lost track of them.
Okay. Machine Head.
Brothers, love them to death. I'm a huge fan. Yeah, very excited to be friends with those guys. I was they were like heroes growing up, so cool.
Slayer.
Majestic, defined many things for metal, and got to meet them now, and it's pretty damn cool. But yeah, South of Heaven, it was a very huge record for me. Rain of Blood, all of them. Haunting the Chapel, forget it. They were all good. Seasons in the Abyss was totally different. So I think that I definitely played those out about 10 million times.
Marillion.
Who?
Marillion.
Never heard of them.
Okay. They're a bit like the next band, Rush.
Prog band. Rush, I wasn't like a big fan. I definitely respect them, but like Exit Stage Left was like the only record that I really ever listened to a lot. And Tom Sawyer, and Spirit of the Radio, jams like that. Those are probably the two songs that I can definitely know I listened to more than any of the other ones, but was never like a big fan.
Okay. Sorry, do you want to go? Cool, hope so. Okay, the Black Flag and Rollins.
Huge fan of Henry Rollins. Black Flag definitely was probably one of the most destructively raw punk rock bands that I ever listened to. I think I got more into like the Rollins band because it was more my time, and I grew up more with that. But like all of Rollins' books, Steve, my guitar player, is a huge fan, so he always passes down the books. I'm just a big fan of him in general. He can write really well, and he's funny, and just an icon, I guess, of the punk rock legacy.
Iron Maiden.
I love Iron Maiden. Yeah, huge fan of those boys for sure. Love to see them play. I never have.
Really?
Nah.
They play with 6 members now. The 6 lineup.
Right.
The Cult.
well, he's one of my favorite singers of all time, Ian Astbury. He's like the one dude, if I could like collaborate with anybody, I would love to collaborate with him. I don't even know how to get a hold of him about it, but I love the Cult. I mean, there's no better like rock, sexy. They just are great.
Okay, and just finally, what are the plans for this year, the rest of this year? What can we expect from you guys?
We're going away for a while. We're going to be just finishing up the record this whole summer, recording it by the middle to the end of it, and trying to get it out by October or the first of the year. If it doesn't come out in October, it won't come out till the first of the year. And then we'll probably let the record be out for a couple months and then try and come back, let everybody listen to it for a bit before we come, because that's the awesome thing about playing here is everybody knows the words. And I totally love that. So if I came here and we're only playing like the majority of the new songs, which is how we are, I know we will, because as soon as the new record gets played, we'll be burying plenty of songs. And it sucks for the fans that like old songs, but that's just the way that we're jerks like that. But so I want everybody to listen to it, and then we'll come back and we'll all sing together, and it'll be good.
Nice. Oh, and can we get a shout out for the website?
Sure.
Just, it's brought from 36 Crazyfists. You want to clickmusic.com.
You're watching clickmusic.com?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hey, what's up? This is Brock from 36 Crazyfists. You're watching clickmusic.com.
Wicked. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm looking forward to the show, man.
Yeah, cool. Me too. It's
I haven't seen 12 Tribe. Well, I haven't even seen you guys before, actually.